Hey everybody, you're listening to the Backlog for Thursday, April 23rd, 2015. So, how you doing today, Eli?
I'm good. I'm having a really good day.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on percentages. Um, yeah, we were going to record yesterday, and then none of us really felt like it because the trees started blooming again, and we're all dying.
For some reason, I thought you were gonna say the tree was on fire, and I don't know. I don't know why, but that's just how my brain automatically ended that sentence. And I was really surprised when you said the trees were blooming.
No trees are on fire. But I'm really glad we didn't record yesterday because some interesting things happened today. One, this morning we got a trailer for Mad Max. Steam announced that you can now buy mods for Skyrim, which is something that we're going to be spending the majority of the time talking about. And the devs for Killing Floor 2 have said that they are just going to hand out permabans for CD keys for people who are being assholes in the game. Sexist, racist, bigoted language will get you a permaban and your key cannot play on multiplayer servers. I am fine with that too, but first let's talk about that Mad Max trailer. So what did you think?
I thought it looked really nice. That's another part of media that I have no experience with because I was raised in a hole, so
Yeah.
I have no context for it. I don't know what it's about. I mean, I know what it's about because I saw the trailer, but it looked really nice.
Oh, Mad Max is an old, post-apocalyptic. Mel Gibson started. It was one of his first major roles and stuff back when he was still living in Australia and back before he was openly anti-Semitic and racist. But yeah, it's post-apocalyptic. Mad Max his family gets killed. Blah 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 blah. Desert wasteland, no food, no water, struggling to survive. Car. That's like the bare bones of it. But
I got as much from the trailer.
yeah, they that game looks pretty good. I mean, it's Arkham combat, and it has literally the character model they're using for Mad Max. I thought was Joel from Last of Us, like to the point that I had to go back and I rewatched the trailer probably 5 times today, trying to distinguish between the two, and finally I'm like, oh, I guess Max's face is a little wider, but the cookie cutter, gruff white guy is getting to the point to where now I literally cannot tell the difference. But yeah, so what do you think of they explained some of how it worked. What do you think about the world settings for it?
I thought it looked really interesting. I mean, it's nothing that I haven't seen before, but also it was interesting enough that I want to see more of it. So I really liked the cars.
Yeah, the magnum opus is sweet, and it's kind of interesting how they're Rage. I think was Bethesda, and I believe this is Bethesda, or at least id, who's doing the Mad Max game. I'm not positive, but they did a shit. I'm trying to find who it is and talk at the same time, and it's not working. They did a game called Rage a while back. Oh no, it's WB who's doing this. Warner Brothers. Oh, so it's Warner Brothers. They're just using the Batman combat engine. Okay, that's cool. But yeah, Rage was a similar-ish game that id did, which id is owned by Bethesda and ZeniMax and stuff. Where you can build up your car, post-apocalyptic world. My voice is going because we're sick again. But it was more you were like a remnant from the past world, and you had woken up out of cryo and blah 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 blah. Had a really unsatisfying ending to it. John Goodman was in it. but it had a similar look and feel to it, but this seems like a much more open world. And you don't see many games with vehicle combat anymore, which growing up playing Twisted Metal, I adore and drastically miss. So I'm looking forward to it. Crafting and vehicle combat and solid physical combat and factions to support and shit. I'm all in with this. So I think you and I might have to play the game when it comes out if one of us has a new computer built.
Yeah.
Because there's no way in hell any of our current computers will run that thing, even on the lowest settings. Put like 800 by 600, still get 10 frames a second. Another interesting thing was, already mentioned it up top, but it was that, where'd it go now? So essentially, bullies and overall jackasses in Killing Floor 2 are going to be banned. To quote them, we also will not tolerate anyone using the game or any servers or forums provided for the game to be continually or repeatedly abusive to other players. This includes, but is not limited to, griefing, racist bigotry, sexism, or any other form of cyberbullying. We will not tolerate anyone hosting servers for the game where such behaviors are continually or repeatedly allowed to take place. If we find you are a cheater or abusive, we will revoke your CD key and ban you from the Killing Floor 2 servers and tell your mom. Your license will automatically terminate without notice, and you will have no right to play KF2 or any KF2 mods against any other players or make any use of KF2. End of story. End quote. Yeah. I like that. I'm really down with this. And then, of course, the influx of trolls and asshats on Steam talking about how it's an awful thing and it's gonna ruin the game and blah 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 blah. And
can you not have fun
and not be a piece of shit?
Yeah, if you're not being like if you're the kind of person who can't enjoy playing a game without being a piece of shit, you have an issue and you need to take a look at your life. So, like, how can you... It's just... Meh, I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed by people.
Yeah.
People are stupid.
Well, one of somebody did quote McKillim on Steam. If you're worried that some of the things you say may get you in trouble in one way or the other, you should probably reconsider if you should say them at all. It's like a paragraph of stuff, but you know what? That line kind of sums up my feelings on it. Like, don't be a shithead, and I'm fine. And you know what? It's their game. Don't play their fucking game if you don't want to.
Like, they have a right to say, we want this game to be a safe space for all players.
Yeah.
Like, that's not only their right, that's a perfectly reasonable thing to say.
Yeah, I don't have any issue with this. Like, I don't get how anybody could. Like, oh, it'll be abused by people. Well, they're going to still have to provide something to, like, unless they're going to go doctor screenshots of you being a shithead in chat, or if they have video of you being a shithead, either griefing or the audio part of it, you saying slurs and shit over chat, that's your own fault. Like, you're done. Like, and I don't give a shit. Don't be a shithead in the game, and you won't get banned. Amazing. If you can't control yourself, turn off chat.
Being an unkind human being is not an essential part of your gaming experience.
No, and if more games did this, I would play multiplayer far more often. But I quit TF2 because the community is atrocious when you play. Like, just disgusting. And I'm starting to have an issue with the Warframe community, too. I mean, it's not nearly as bad, but sometimes I get into a match and I'm just like, I'm just going to quit and come back again later. But yeah, I mean, if this is the way they want to cull their community for shitty people, you know what? Games like League of Legends and Dota could really use this, too. Mm-hmm. Because they literally have... Like, League of Legends is notorious for being just a gross community. And I'm okay with this. I don't see any issue. Like,
No, it's not. It's not curbing anyone's free speech. Like if you walk into a grocery store and you start yelling slurs at someone, you're gonna get asked to leave. Like you can. It's not. It's not curbing anyone's free speech to say you can't be an asshole
oh well.
here. Like,
Well, no,
and I
you
know
can
that
be
people,
an asshole. You just have to accept the consequences of you being an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Like, that's the thing that people don't understand about free speech. It isn't the right to say whatever you want consequence free. You can be a fucking dick, but people are gonna fucking take you to task for it. And if that happens and you don't like the consequences of it,
Well, maybe you shouldn't.
yeah, maybe not doing it next time. Maybe don't do that later. But yeah, I'm 100% down with this, and this makes me want to buy Killing Floor too.
Well, just the concept of having a space that is actually like safe. Yeah, it makes me want to go there because it's like there's not very many safe spaces already.
Yeah.
And especially when like you're part of the queer community and you already have like the majority of spaces in the world are unsafe.
Oh yeah,
So people,
especially
like,
gaming.
Yeah,
Holy
people
shit.
actually like making an effort to make spaces safe for the players is really like a really admirable thing, and I really respect them for that.
Yeah, when I have the cash, I know the game's like $30, so I can't just drop it right now. But when I have the extra cash, that's going to probably be the next game I buy at that price range because I 100% like support them. And I mean, I already have Killing Floor 1 and it's a great game, but yeah, I 100% support them in this because making safe places is good, and I'm fine with that.
And I really hope that more communities follow that because you can't have too many safe spaces in the world.
No, and people want to say, "Oh, it's censorship." It's like, well, no, you can go be a dickhead somewhere else. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I like it.
Like censorship is, whatever, it's a sticky subject, whatever. But I would be fine if all like sexism and homophobia was erased from the world. I'd be okay with that.
I'd be
like, sure, let's just scrub it from the slate. No more. I'm good. It's okay. I don't want to deal with it anymore.
Yeah. So another thing that I guess now that knowing what Steam did today, I guess this makes sense. Back on the 20th, they made it so that new Steam accounts must spend $5, at least minimum $5, or add a minimum of $5 to their account before it unlocks a bunch of stuff. Like, the limited account thing was like, no comments, can't vote on Greenlight, can't use the Steam Workshop, I don't think, write reviews, yeah, you pretty much can't do anything until you buy a game. You can play free-to-play games, but you cannot pretty much do a damn thing. Oh yeah, you can't add friends even, or open a group chat. Yeah. Anyway, they said to curb a lot of spam stuff, which makes sense because shitty devs are going and making Steam accounts and then, or like they're having, I guess like, not Mechanical Turk, but Mechanical Turk like services that are less reputable, go and make Steam accounts and vote up their Greenlight things so that they can get their stuff on Steam. Which is a small part of the reason that there's been a fucking deluge of just shit on Steam for the last 2 years. Like, it's getting worse and worse. Things like air control and all these broken, buggy, not game things that just... It's just bad. But anyway, they're making it so you have to spend a minimum of $5 on Steam so you can do this, which leads into what the Workshop just did with Skyrim. Yeah, and we went over this before we started recording. So the Steam Workshop is now allowing only for Skyrim mods currently. They're talking about adding mod support for other games and stuff as they work with the developers. But Bethesda and Steam and Valve have worked out a system of Bethesda is going to allow modders to charge for their mods if they would like to. And it's a pay what you want ish basis, like minimum of $1 or minimum 50 cents or something like that, up to $100 at whatever you feel is fair for the mod, and then you buy it with money from your Steam wallet and it appears in your game. What do you think about this?
I think it's really neat. Like, people spend a lot of time on these, and I think it's cool that they can be compensated for the work they put in. So, I haven't played Skyrim in a really long time, but it kind of makes me want to start playing it again. So, that's a thing. If that's what they're trying to accomplish, then they did.
I've talked about modding communities before. Like, I wrote up about modding communities like a year or two ago now. But and I think I did an entire episode where I talked about modding communities back when I started Backlog. But modding communities are the life and death of a lot of games. Like GTA 4, it still had mods being made after GTA 5 came out, and that was like 7-8 years between them or something like that. They were still like Morrowind, which came out on the original Xbox, still has mods being made for it. Like, to this day, they still make mods for Morrowind for a PC. And mod makers have always done it for free, which has been great for the communities and stuff. But it's been shit for them, because people who make stuff like Path to Elsewhere, which I haven't even gotten a fraction through. It's something like 20-something hours of content. Fully voiced, like, well voiced, too. They have, what was the, there was one that I watched Al Chessbreach play through that took him, like, he did an hour a week for, like, almost a year playing through it. And it was, the voice acting, I thought, came from the actual base game. Like, it was so good. I'll have to look it up. But they've added so much to these games and done so much to get the community to buy the game and stuff like that. I've bought Skyrim 3 times. I've bought Fallout 4 times. I've bought Fallout New Vegas a few times. I've bought Oblivion 3 or 4 times now on different platforms. And I always come back to buying them on PC because of the mods. Always, always, always. And mod communities, and there's a lot of backlash against this, of course, because people don't like paying for things, especially if they've been free. But you know what? If you really like it, support the people who fucking make it. I saw one comment that was like, it was like, mod creators shouldn't be charging for this, because if they really wanted to get paid for doing this, and they had the skills, they should just make their own game. Well, there's an established engine here. There's an established world. There's an already large user base. And they're charging a fucking $1. Eat a dick. Like, you can pay a fucking $1 to help support somebody who's made something you like. So, I don't know. Like, Skyrim would not be still in the top. It's, I think, still in the top 5 overall sales for games on Steam. It has been 4 years. It came out on 11/11/11, and I believe it is still in the top 5 best-selling games, like, currently selling games on Steam. That is insane, and it's all because of the modding community. Because if anybody had it, whoever wanted that game has that game already. Whoever cared about the game for like the story has Skyrim already.
Mm-hmm.
In some way, like either they have it on a console, and for some reason Steam is just really fucked for me. They either bought it on a console and played it, or they played it in some other way, but they've already played already played Skyrim. So people keep rebuying it because it's part of the mod community, because you can get amazing things. And man, it's really just Steam is really not working. I'm trying to get to the Skyrim page. I'm trying to get to the front page so I can look and see if Skyrim's still in the top 5, because it was like a week ago. And it's been 4 years. But modding communities provide so much, and they provide things like, you know what? I know people who would be perfectly fine with paying an extra $1 or $2 for accessibility stuff. Like to make it so that there are less clicks between things, or to add in like different vision modes for people who have bad vision, or like different audio cue modes, or like better captioning, because the captioning in Skyrim's okay, but it can sometimes get muddled and stuff like that. I know people who would love this kind of stuff and who would pay 99 cents for something that will allow them to play their game. Which, again, you can argue, well, that should be Bethesda's job of doing. Oh, it had to update, that's why. But you know what? Bethesda gave the tools for it. They've put out a lot, and I'm not going to rely on a large corporation to go with the needs of a small minority. Just like there are mods for trans characters in Skyrim. That wasn't originally in the game, but guess what I'm fucking downloading? Like, there are things that are added in by the community that help it. And I'm willing to pay money for that. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel really passionately about modding communities because I've always really loved them. Like, I used to make mods for Morrowind back in the day, like forever ago. I have one mod. I will never say my username because I know it's still out there. I checked just a little bit ago. It's still there. I'm not even going to say what service it was on because it wasn't on Nexus. I never submitted it to Nexus. But the mod I made, I spent like 3 weeks programming scripts and writing dialogue and doing all this shit. And I never saw any money for that, and I don't care. It's not a big deal because it's not like many people download. I think I got like 1,000 downloads on that thing. But it's still something that, if my shitty mod that I made with all the assets that were in the game was something that somebody enjoyed playing, then, and it took me 3 weeks to do, I can only imagine what some of these mods, like Path to Elsewhere or Skywind or something, like, which is taking them months and months and months and dozens of people working on it, volunteering to work on it. They're not getting paid for this, all because they have a passion for the game. Compensate them in return. That's all I'm saying.
I'm always okay with people who spend a lot of time and put a lot of effort into creating something, getting compensation for it.
Yeah.
Like, that's totally okay with me. Like, your time is worthwhile, your talent is worthwhile, and don't complain about having to pay someone for something that they spent months working on. Like,
yeah.
You're getting a really fucking good deal.
Yeah, well, and I picked up 2 mods. I picked up the Shadow Scale armor, which looks badass. I'll put links, or I'll put pictures in the post on the site. So if you're listening to this on YouTube, there's a link that says Spider Squid Productions. Go there, go to the backlog. It'll be the first post there. But I'll put pictures in the post because they have 2 really cool armor sets that I bought. One of them I cannot just show off because it's a crafted armor, so it's gonna take me a bit to grab that. But it's getting me buying these. Also, is I'm just like, oh yeah, I need to play Skyrim now. I need to go drop like a few dozen hours into Skyrim because now I want to see the thing I paid for and I want to experience using it and I want to go through like the whole crafting of it and stuff. But the one that you can't damn it, I have the hiccups now. The one that you can use instantly is the Shadow Scale armor. Which they said that they're adding in. They're currently working on a female version of the armor because it's only the male body one. But I don't care. Like, I don't need boob plate. I'm fine with what I have. It looks badass. And it's not even plate. I think it's like medium armor because it's like covered in bones and shit. It looks awesome. And they're adding in a quest, like a small quest line to get it. So that's going to come over time. And they said the quest line will be released like on the 27th. So in 4 days, it'll come out with a quest line for it. And then they're also adding in... Did Steam really just freeze again? God damn. They're adding in the female armor, which I believe is on the same day. So, and this is going to really, I believe, help. Like, because it'll give modders more money to live on and continue making things. God, Steam really is just broken. I really think it's down. Nope, there it is. Okay. I don't know. I'm just really excited about this, and I could probably talk about it by myself for hours, and I know I'm talking a lot, and you're not, and I'm sorry about that, but just, I just really love modding communities, and I just love that they're doing this.
I only ever played Skyrim on the Xbox, so...
Well, you played a little bit.
Oh, okay, I played like 10 minutes, and I turned a corner, and there was a spider the size of a fucking castle. So I took a break. I have the epic Creatures of Skyrim mod, which is still a free one. And it's not like free mods are going away. There are plenty on the Nexus. There's still plenty on fucking on Steam. It's just some of them you can pay for. But I have the epic Creatures of Skyrim mod, and there's a spider that is literally as large as a castle attacking, like, it's in a ravine. And it was attacking somebody standing on, like, a pulpit of a castle, or a parapet of a castle. And Eli just came around a corner, and I'm watching them play, and I just see them look up at this spider in the distance that is, like, its legs, the knees of its legs are, like, above the fucking edge of the canyon. And it's just, and they're just like, nope. And just hit save and quit. Which I loved. That was great. But yeah, it's stuff like that. I mean, you know what? I'm fine with that. And they're not charging for that kind of thing because all they did was take in-game assets and increase the size and change some stats on them. So they're not charging for stuff like that. But custom-made armors that spent, like, somebody modeling and doing the lighting on it and, like, doing the meshing and everything else and collision detection and clipping checking for clipping and everything. There's so much work that goes into making armor that looks good that, you know what, I'll drop $1 or $1.50 on it. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm fine with that. Yeah, Skyrim Legendary... Okay, it was there for a second. But anyway, Skyrim Legendary Edition and then just base Skyrim are numbers 3 and 4 in the top sellers of Steam. Right now, and they're always up there, but right now it's, and because they're on sale, so of course they're going to be way, way high. Oh wow, the Crypt of the Necrodancer is up near the top. It's number 6. Good job. Nice.
I love Crypt of the Necrodancer.
I need to play that again.
But yeah, it goes Grand Theft Auto, Killing Floor 2, Skyrim Legendary Edition, Skyrim, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, which is always up there, and then Crypt of the Necrodancer, Middle Earth, Shadows of Mordor, City Skylines, blah, blah, blah. My
brother still owes me $15 on Steam. I just remembered that. I need to take him up on that.
Okay. I have some recommendations after we're all done with this. But yeah, I mean, oh god, and it keeps the game alive. And it keeps people buying the game, and it keeps Bethesda making more of them. It's not like they're not going to make Elder Scrolls 6, but considering how well that Elder Scrolls Online is doing now, fucking, I don't know. Maybe they won't make another Elder Scrolls. Maybe they'll just keep it as an MMO. That's what happened with Warcraft. Why not? No, please don't do that, Bethesda. We need another single player Elder Scrolls, please. Same with Fallout 4. Fucking get on that. You better announce that next at E3. I swear to God. Yeah, I don't know. Modding communities, yay! I love them. Please do more things. Telltale announced a video game partnership with Marvel because they need more to work on. It's not as if that we have been waiting way too long for part 3 of Tales from the Borderlands. Yes, I know it just came out. I don't care. We waited 5 months for Tales from the Borderlands part 2. They need to hurry up with 3. We got 3 fucking parts of goddamn Game of Thrones before we got the second part of Tales from the Borderlands. So, but yeah, I mean, between Minecraft, their own stuff, the Marvel stuff, Tales from the Borderlands, probably another Wolf Among Us, more Game of Thrones. I mean, they have to be working on another Walking Dead. That just would make sense, because that's like the thing that got them where they are now. And then I think there was another project they have too. But yeah, they are working on a lot of games. A lot of games. I don't know. Is this going to be too much?
Well, I mean, there's always the possibility that they can pull it off.
I guess. I just...
I don't... There's nothing saying they can't.
I
That's
guess.
just a lot.
It's a lot of games.
That's so much work.
It's so many games.
At the same time.
Well, I guess the Marvel games aren't coming out till 2017. We aren't going to see the first Marvel games till 2017. So that's a bit.
Well, that's good.
But, I mean, if they do another season of Game of Thrones over next year, we'll say. Mm-hmm. So that'll be 2016 season 2 of Game of Thrones. If they do season 3 of Walking Dead next year, that's 2 games in the year. If they do another Wolf Among Us, because it might come out this year, might come out next year. If they do it, they haven't announced anything. That's 3 games. I don't know if they're going to do another Tales from the Borderlands, so I won't even count that. But they've still got Minecraft, and they still got their own game coming out. That's still a lot in 2 years.
Yeah, hopefully they don't bite off more than they can chew. And then choke to death and die.
Oh, please don't say that about Telltale. I love them. No,
I said hopefully they don't.
Well, the thing is, I'm kind of already worried that they're taking on too much because they took so long with Tales from the Borderlands that I don't know. They spent so long between the first 2 parts.
And if you're serializing things, you hit a point where if you don't release it fast enough, people just lose interest.
Half-Life?
Yeah, you'll just lose your audience because you stop caring. You can't wait that long.
I give 0 fucks about Half-Life 3 now. As much as I want it to release, I just don't care anymore because it's been so long. It has been forever since that. It's been since 2007.
Oh, God.
Yeah. September 2007 was when Half-Life 2 Episode 2 released. That's the last we got anything. I don't care anymore. It's been 8 years. It's been 8 years, guys. I don't care. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I just really hope Telltale's not gonna be doing too much and their games are gonna suffer because the writing is so good and I hope it doesn't suffer because of it. But yeah, I guess last up, this one. You read this one because I'm gonna laugh too much.
Okay, well, I don't actually know what game this is.
Oh.
So.
Oh, okay. H1Z1 was a game released originally by Sony Online Entertainment, which then was spun off and sold and became Daybreak Game Company. Which I talked about Daybreak on, like, episode 2 of the Backlog. Yeah. But, H1Z1 has a checkered history of day one release fuck-ups and shitty microtransaction shit where you can spend, I think it's like $20 for a supply drop. It's a zombie game, of course. And it's a multiplayer zombie game, of course.
Yeah, I saw the like a brief description, but
yeah. So you can spend like $20 for a supply drop in game.
That's disgusting.
Well, I would be okay with that. But you can have it stolen by other players. Like, if it drops, because they don't drop on top of you. It comes from an airplane at a distance. So you might have a player closer to your supply drop that you paid $20 for than you are, who steals all of the shit you paid real money for.
So essentially you're gambling.
Yeah. Well, Russ and Snake from the Late Night Crew were talking about it on stream a while back when they were both still playing it before they quit. And these are things that got them to quit. I believe it was Russ had his... Or no, it was Snake had his stolen. Just flat out, like, in front of him, he got shot and killed and it was stolen. And Russ got disconnected because the server went down.
Oh my god.
And when he came back, the supply drop was gone. He was mid-looting it and the server went down. So he lost all of it. $20 just gone because their server was unstable.
That's so much money.
And
that's so much money.
That's so many games. That's so many things on Steam. But that was $20 that was just gone. And I think the game itself was $20.
Like, I can't imagine dropping $20 for something like that in-game anyway, not to mention something that I'm not even sure I will get in the end.
Oh, yeah. No, it was, yeah, it was a thing that happened, and, I'm kind of shocked that, yeah, H1Z1 is $20. It's got middling reviews on Steam, mixed reviews, 68% are positive, but I'm not sure how that is. Yeah, I don't know. I have massive issues with that. But anyway, that's not what we were talking about with this.
That's not the hilarious part.
This game came out in January. January 15th, I believe, was the release date for it. They still do not have female player character models. Those are still coming 2 weeks from today. Or 2 weeks from, I guess, 2 days ago. They're hoping to get the female model into H1Z1 in the next 2 weeks. Hey guys, maybe if you want to charge for your game, maybe, just maybe put female character models in for a game where you can choose your own avatar. Like, maybe just do that little amount of work. Because I'm looking at the model that they showed on Twitter. This is not spectacular. I get that it still needs, like, textures, but this is not anything special. Are there no female models in the game at all? I don't know. I wonder, did they only have male models in this game?
That's just lazy. That's just laziness.
Well, it was Sony originally, so yeah, it's at least it's not Ubisoft. Ubisoft wouldn't even put them in. They would just be like, well, they're too hard. We have to figure out how boobs work. Vaginas. But which that
how
right
do you
there
animate a vagina?
Which that right there doesn't instantly make female character models, because females don't always just have vaginas. But anyway, not gonna get into trans stuff or gender things. But yeah, like,
no, it's Gabby. It's because all girls have long hair.
Oh yes, of course. Your poorly modeled bun here is gonna take so much time. I could probably do that in Blender. Like, I could probably do that in Blender. I haven't used Blender since I was in high school, and I could probably do that.
Also makeup.
Oh yes, because in the apocalypse, makeup is a thing. I just wonder if there are no female models at all in the game. Like, are there no female NPCs that they couldn't just use as a template and use different hairstyles with? Are there no females in this game whatsoever, is my question.
No, they probably just fucking forgot. And then decided to tell everyone they've been working on it because they forgot.
Oh, no. They announced it back when they released the game that they would try to put it in like the first month, and it's been 4 months, 4.5 months.
Why did you release it without... What? No.
Well, they released it and the game didn't work for the first 3 days anyway. Like, you couldn't even log in. So, it's just another one of those, this is one of those games that was released and it sucks and it's broken. And
how is that okay?
Because...
You can't sell somebody a car and it doesn't start. You're like, oh, sorry, we'll fix that within the next couple days, but you still owe us,
Yeah.
You've already paid us.
We'll patch in that. We'll patch in that thing later.
We're gonna patch in your engine.
Yeah,
and your tires. But you've got this great chassis for now.
You didn't get the day 1 DLC for tires. And you have to wait 2 weeks for the patch for the engine. Like, it's video games
the air conditioning works.
It's video, but you don't have an engine, so no, it wouldn't. It wouldn't work.
That's true.
Video
You can turn on the dome light.
It's Videogarms. That's how they are now, because we get things released that don't work in any way, and the companies then go and spend a year saying that they're fixing things, barely do the minimum to say that it's fixed, and then act like it's a full release. But then you have super polished games like Duelist, which is free in pre-alpha and in better condition than anything I've played on early access outside of like some smaller indie games. If it's been a big name company doing the early access, or hell, just doing a full release lately, it's been broken. But indie titles like Crypt of the Necrodancer, I bought that game months ago. I think I bought that game before I moved in here.
No, it was just after.
It was somewhere around that time. So it's been some.
I remember you showing me the trailer just before it came out.
I guess I got it in like September or something. I love that game, and it has worked very well since I got it in September, and it just had a full release. But then we have things like H1Z1, which release and don't work for 3 days because they can't get their servers working and don't have female character models.
Which should classify it as, like, not complete. Like, it should not be considered complete.
Well, it's early access, so that gives it a pass. It's early access.
God.
It's early access. No, but if you're charging money for it, I don't care. You deserve to be, like, you deserve to be critiqued on something. If you are accepting money for a product, it had better at least be functional.
Well, and what? Do you think that only people who want male avatars are going to be playing early access?
Well, that, and
like,
also...
Why?
Like, well, and like, if you look at another zombie game, Killing Floor 2, I watched a shit ton of videos on it. There are small problems, like small stuttering and frame rate and stuff, but the reason they put it into early access and not final release was they want to stress test their servers. They want to have the community hammer on the game to see if there are any more bugs they couldn't find. And they want to test out new content and stuff before it goes in, and then is a full release. That is how you do early access right. It's not we're going to throw a bunch of Unity Store assets or whatever together in a fucking little sandbox and say fuck all, and that's all we're going to do. You use it as a tool for helping you make a game, not as a quick cash grab, which is what 90% of that shit is.
Well, and it's so obvious that they don't care.
Oh,
it's so obvious that they just want the money. And
I'm trying to figure out what games of mine are that I play a lot that are still considered early access.
Is there any other industry where you can charge someone for something that is obviously broken?
No, I don't think so.
I'm trying. Well, okay, maybe our internet.
Yeah, I guess the internet, but like even then we can just go, okay, well no, we don't really have an option to switch, but we can at least go like, hey, fix this shit. But once you pay, like, you can stop paying for the internet, and then you don't have to pay for it anymore. But once you've bought a game, you can't get a return on that game. It's just
true.
there. It's there, and you've wasted it.
Anything else you can return.
Yeah, like you can, if you get internet at your house, you pay for it to get set up and everything, and it just doesn't work for the first month, you can deny paying them. Like, you can say, I am not paying for this. It did not work. Fix it, and I will pay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can do that. But you can't do that with a game. You can't go, I am demanding a refund because this game does not work in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, like any sort of other product that you pay for, if you take it home and it's broken, you can take it back to the store and be like, hey, this shit is broken. Take it back. I don't want it. And then you get a refund.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm really irritated with the way that Steam has been handling its lack of content curation lately. Like, there are games, I bet if I go through the new releases, we will find, let's look at the early access new releases really quickly. If I could find where to even go for that anymore. Car Mechanic Simulator, might check that. We have Deep World, which is a free-to-play early access game. Killing Floor 2, Trine 3. You know what? Trine is another good example of a established game franchise that is in early access to work out bugs. Probably shit. Survival Post-Apocalypse Now, probably shit. March of War Face-Off, probably shit. Strife, I've heard okay things about it. Man, my voice is really fucking trashed. Captain Forever Remix, I've heard really good things about it. Servarium, shit. Watched a video on that, and it's shit. Starcallers, don't know. Reign of Kings, I've heard okay things about, but it's still really buggy apparently and doesn't work half the time. Yeah, I mean, like, most of these just either look like they're just shit. Oh my god, H1Z1 is still in early access. Okay.
I keep wanting to call it H1N1.
Well, that was what they were going for.
Yeah, but like that's just what I keep wanting to call it.
Yeah. I don't know. Besiege is early access. I didn't know that. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. The Long Dark is really good.
Ooh.
These are all really good early access games opposed to the 90% of the shit that goes up through Greenlight. Anyway, we've been talking for an hour. Or
Yay.
about 50 minutes. So, you got anything else? Like, you seen anything interesting happening lately?
Not really. I haven't been doing much lately. So.
Well, besides recording a shit ton.
That's
we still
true.
need to do our talk on Charnel House.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, because I told you I rewatched it today because I wanted to just see. I wanted to like just see it again because I felt like there was so much stuff I missed the first time.
Yeah. Now that it's settled in my head, we'll have to do a talk about Charnel House, but not right now.
Because if we start right now, it's gonna be like another 5 hours.
It'll be easily at least another hour episode of Backlog. So at some point we'll have a special talking about Charnel House, and maybe, you know what? Let's wait on that. Let's do the playthrough of Uncanny Valley this weekend, and then we'll talk about both of them.
Okay.
We'll do a horror special.
Awesome.
You know what? We could do Lone Survivor as well.
And we have
Silence of Sleep. So let's do all 4 of those, then we'll have a horror special. We could do all 4 of those over the weekend.
Yeah.
They're all fairly short games.
Yeah, as long as...
I believe. I don't know, I'd have to look it up. Anyway, we'll plan this off of microphone. Hey, so the Backlog is part of Spider Squid Productions, which is a quote-unquote company that I started up with a friend of mine. And, hey, we have a Patreon, because everybody does. And we make a lot of shit. Like, we pumped out... how many 37 videos
Yeah,
this week.
how many hours of video have we recorded this week alone? Like,
This week alone was something like 21 hours of raw video that I cut down.
yeah, like almost an entire day.
Yeah, and that's not including like podcasts and stuff.
Yeah.
But we have things like I Have the Hunted, which Eli and Van are helping me with, and I put a lot of work into that. I write it all myself, and I did all the audio editing and effects and everything, and I'm really proud of the upcoming episode that will come out. Well, I guess tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new episode of The Hunted comes out tomorrow, and I'm really, really proud of this one.
And that's a ton of work.
It was
It's so
7
much work.
hours of editing in things. It was for 16 minutes of audio. It took me 7 hours to edit.
Yeah.
Because
And
I have a horrible workflow on Audacity or Audition, so that's the majority of the reason. But we have percentages. We have this. We have SSP After Dark. We're bringing back Dead. I actually am just about finished with the next page, and I need to get in contact with Max and or Hayden about page 11. But we have a lot of stuff we're doing, and we're bringing in more things soon. So if you'd like to support us on Patreon for the shit we make at SSP and at Recurring V's, which we do a lot of gameplay videos of, head on over to patreon.com/SSP. We could use the help, and we use the money to pay for things like site hosting and for stuff like helping fund build the new computers we need to actually do proper recording and stuff like that, and for more storage for things. We could use the funding, and hey, if you like our stuff and you get a little value out of it, maybe give a little value back. Anyway, have a nice night, everybody.
Bye.